What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another YouTube video here on my channel. In today's video I want to finish my waxed denim and also give you guys a more in-depth tutorial on how to actually wax clothing. First up, we're gonna do the waxing, and I'm also giving you guys the waxing tutorial. But after I'm done with the waxing, I also want to apply some studs to my denim to kind of finish the piece. And this is kind of the second part. If you're only here for the tutorial, we're gonna do that in the first part, don't worry. But yeah, feel free to stay for the rest and see how I finish this pair of denim. Let's get into it. Alright, so first up, what actually is waxing and why would we want to do it? And essentially what it is just applying like a coat or like a layer of wax on top of your clothing. What this does is that it kind of seals the fabric. And depending on how much wax you apply and also on how kind of evenly you spread out the wax, this can make your piece either like water repellent up to kind of completely water resistant. Another great benefit, however, is the look of it, and I personally really like the look, and it's kind of like a shinier version of your base material. For example, let's say denim. It's kind of like a shiny denim. So yeah, what do you actually need to wax the denim? You don't actually need a lot of things, and it's also pretty affordable, I would say. First up, of course, you need to have your clothing item of your choice. I got this black baggy denim right here that we made in the last video, but you can of course also wax pieces that you already have in your wardrobe. Say you want to kind of spice up an old denim jacket that you have, an old canvas jacket. Like, you can wax it, there's no problem with it. But one thing to note here is that waxing generally works best on heavier fabrics. So let's say denim, let's say canvas, and kind of all of the heavyweight fabrics. I would stick to denim and canvas. Then of course you also need the wax itself. I use this kind of Otto's wax, which is just kind of looks like a bar of soap. Is literally just a piece of wax, and with a bar like this you can literally just rub it onto the fabric. Another great option is to use liquid wax and kind of brush it on, and this one I'm using is Otto's wax. It's like, that's literally just a brand name. It's actually all natural beeswax, and I'm pretty sure there are many different brands that offer kind of all natural beeswax and kind of these waxing bars. Otto's wax is just kind of the most known brand and the most established one, I would say, and so far I think this is really dope and I can definitely recommend them. After applying the wax, you then need to kind of set it in with heat, and what I use here, or what I like to use, is this heat gun right here. But I bet that not everyone has a heat gun at home, but don't worry, you can literally also use like a hair dryer or like a blow dryer, and this usually produces enough heat to kind of melt the wax as well. And if you like, you can also use gloves to apply the wax. I mean, it's an all natural product, so there's no need to, but yeah, feel free to use it. But yeah, that's literally all you need. Let's actually get started. Let's get straight into the video and let's get to waxing. Let's go. Alright, so what you want to do before we get started is to actually clean the piece. If you've worn it before, if it's like a used clothing item, then you just pop it in a washing machine, get it clean. Because this is of course a fresh pair, kind of a lint roller like this is already enough just to get kind of like dust off and get the pair clean. Alright, so for the waxing process itself, we just want to take the bar, and then what we kind of want to do is literally just kind of rub it onto the fabric and kind of brush it onto the fabric in as even strokes as possible. And you should definitely be able to kind of see like a thin layer of wax building up. One thing you will notice is that because obviously not everything is completely flat and the same thickness, you will see like a few spots being left out and being kind of like hard to reach. And one thing I can recommend is literally just kind of rubbing the wax in with your fingers, and this just helps with creating like a much more even kind of coat, since you really want to kind of like seal the fabric and don't have any like open spots. And yeah, I'm starting on the waistband right here, as you can see, just kind of work my way along the waistband. And this is also because for waxing, what you kind of want to do is work in like parts and work in like areas. Let's just do the yoke and the waistband in one go, then fix it, then we do the pockets and fix it, and then we do like the one leg, fix it, the other leg, fix it, and then we move to the front, just like that. Essentially everything that's kind of separated through seams is what should be like a certain section. Alright, so now we got this area right here properly waxed, and now we can take the heat gun or like a blow dryer and kind of get some heat and fix it and kind of apply it to the fabric. Just like that. And while doing this, you should then be able to see the color kind of slightly fading back to normal, obviously with this kind of like glazed look to it. But yeah, with the blow dryer, it might take a little while. If you have a heat gun, make sure to use it. And this is literally how easy it is. Now you of course need to kind of repeat all of those steps for kind of all of your item, whether it's pants or a jacket. As I said, it's best to work in like sections. And once you're done with the full pair, you then need to let it rest for 24 hours. Around 24 hours in a warm and dry place, and this just makes sure that the wax can really settle in. One thing I forgot to mention is how much wax you actually need. I got these large bars by Otter's Wax, which is 5 ounces of wax, and 1 bar was enough for like 1 coat, or like I would say a medium coat of this big baggy denim. So if you have a slimmer pair of pants, 1 bar is definitely enough. If you have a baggy pair like me and you want to go for 2 kind of coats like me, you definitely need to get 2. Heavier fabrics also kind of take in more wax, but yeah, maybe I can draw like a graph or some shit. But yeah, I would say 2 bars are definitely enough for every project. If you're having less fabric or thinner fabric, 1 bar should also be totally fine. But yeah, now of course I have a bunch of work to do, so let's get into the time lapse. Let's get it. Alright guys, so it is now the next day and the pants were sitting for like, yeah, roughly 24 hours I would say. And oh boy, the pants are heavy as hell and also kind of sturdy as hell. Of course, when wearing the piece, it will kind of get softer again and kind of form and shape to the body. And hopefully over time develop a little bit of wear and aging and sort of, yeah, distressing, I would say, to the wax. And I think those pants will look so nice after a little bit of wearing them. But yeah, nonetheless, I want to add one last final detail, which are some studs. I think I want to add some on the back pockets right here, you know, like on these corners, and maybe I think a few spaced along the side seam right here. And yeah, I think this should be around it. Don't want to kind of go crazy with the studs, just like on the side seam and on the back pockets. Let's go. And by the way, guys, I actually tested kind of the water resistance, the water repellents. Let me just get the camera real quick so y'all can see. Right, so I got this sponge right here. And if I kind of press it, yeah, I think this is literally what we're going for. This is kind of water repellent and yeah, works perfect. I think this is really dope. Alright, so we are now done with the pants. This is the final result. Got these like studded back pockets and the studded side seams right here. And yeah, I think I'll put up a video on how they fit on the screen right now. Kind of give y'all a little spin, a little 360. But yeah, I mean, that's all there is for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching it all the way to the end. Hopefully I could help you with the waxing tutorial. It's pretty easy and pretty affordable, so definitely something you can easily try at home. And also let me know your guys' opinion of the denim in the comments down below. With all of this being said, that's all for today's video. I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm out.